Hello everybody, we are here with legendary Lianne Gould, legendary here at Gallery One. She's a master knitter, she is a motivator, a tutor, a really active part of our community. Twisted is Lianne's baby, as well as so many other projects. So we are saying hello. We are so pleased that you are here in our community with us. And can you please tell us something about yourself?
Hello, Sonia. Well, I guess how I came to be here, it was just very serendipitous that things all kind of happened in the same year and in the same time, and I actually had a little bit of spare time. My fourth child had started at high school.
Oh, so yeah. Did you have some spare time? Oh, that's nice to hear.
Did. So I only had two schools at that time once he had moved on, and high school was a lot less work than primary school was. So I had a little bit of spare time there, and I was studying library and information studies, and I finished my final module of studies in, I think it was about June 2006. And at the same time, somebody put a little flyer in my letterbox about an exhibition that was on at Gallery One, and it was textile based. And I thought, oh, that sounds lovely. I like doing textile things. So I came up here to have a look and ran into Julie Arnott, who introduced herself when I came in and said, oh, come in and have a look and have a look. And what do you like to do? And I sort of spoke about knitting and crocheting. And she said, oh, we don't have a group here who does that. Oh, that would be lovely to have a group. Have you ever thought about teaching a group? And I sort of said, no, I've never thought about doing that. And went home and thought about it and rang her and said, that'd be nice. And so we started. We started on Tuesday mornings. It was a fantastic group. Julie named us Hooked on Tuesdays, and we had a great time. It was a really, really good group. And we ended up getting up to 26 people in the group, which got very busy, very hectic, and people found it a little bit too hard to hear and a little bit too many people in the class. So we've now divided up. Hooked on Tuesday now meets on Tuesday mornings, and then on Tuesday afternoon there's a group called Twisted Tuesdays, which I'm now running. And that's more tutorial. And then...
Excuse me, you have noticed, obviously, that Lianne is talking and knitting or crocheting all at the same time. Just pay attention to her hands, please.
Well, I thought this is the best way of explaining. This is what I do. I teach traditional crafts, so knitting, crochet, basic, very, very basic sewing, hand sewing, embroidery, tapestry, cross stitch, whatever it might be. I also have at home a needlecraft museum, and I'm collecting a lot of the things that are disappearing when it comes to textile crafts. We have lots of collections in museums which have belonged to people who have been well heeled, and the items are really beautiful, and they're the very best example of a tool that might have been used. And my collection's a little bit different. My collection's basically the everyday tools that people might have used, but it goes back to about 1870, and a lot of those everyday things are also handmade and really, really, really beautiful. And that collection is for education, loan, so lots of museums and places like that loan different parts, but I think I'm considered as, in that sense, as a living resource. There are a few of us still around Adelaide who do that, but getting back to here, we also have a class called Mitcham Brown Hours. We run on Saturday afternoons.
Oh, that's a lovely one. And there is a new initiative with that one. Could you please tell us about that?
Yes. So Mitcham Brown Hours, I'll tell you a little bit about them. They've been going also since 2007, and they just, the girls in both classes actually, but they just blow my mind. They're so clever, the things that they do and that they create. And one of the things I'd really like to do is to get people to think a little bit differently about craft. Craft is still art from the wrong side of the tracks, and I would like people to value what they do, because I think even a lot of us crafters, we don't see what we do as being important, and we have to start with that. As you know, at the moment, trying to sell art or craft, you certainly don't get anything for what you do. You know, if you worked it out on $1 per hour value, you wouldn't even get $1. So I'd like to improve that. But yeah, the hairy husbands. There are a few of us in the group, including me, whose husbands have retired recently and who are at home, partly due to COVID. But what we're finding is that they are spending a lot of time at home and not doing much else, and we're trying to get them to mix. So we decided that we would start a group where, while we're at Brown Hours, which is only 10 times a year, we meet once a month, the husbands can meet here and go up to the local hotel, play cards and have a few drinks and enjoy themselves. And that seems to be working very well.
And then you join them afterwards,
yes,
don't you?
Yes, we walk up after we finish the class and get them and walk back here, so that we're all sort of doing something on a Saturday afternoon.
That is fantastic. And it's working, the initiative, obviously.
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
I'm very pleased with it.
And you and Wendy have a pop-up shop next month.
We started off with an exhibition, and this is Sonia. I went to Mount Pleasant to a wool festival.
Pleasant?
So I went to Mount Pleasant and I went to a wool festival, and it was absolutely fantastic, and it was about 33 degrees the day that we went. We did it as an outing for Brown Hours, and there were probably about 8 of us who went and squashed into this, packed hall up in Mount Pleasant, and walked around with all these people, and there were just so many exciting people, and the buzz was fantastic, and all these people walking out with great big bags of wool, on this 33 degree day, and I just thought, what a great idea it was, and wouldn't it be lovely to do that here? And I came along and I was just telling Sonia about it the following Tuesday before class, and Sonia said, oh, what a fantastic idea, let's do it. And that's how things happen here.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah, and we did that for 2 years in a row, and it was absolutely great. And this year, because of COVID, we haven't done that, and it's like most things, it's sort of sitting on the back burner. But we thought that something we could do is to do a pop-up shop, which was Wendy's very brilliant idea. So we're going to have the tutors in the gallery putting items in, their students putting items in, a few people who've been consignees to the gallery, and we're going to have that open for the month of September, and we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, well. So thank you so very much, Lianne.
Thank
Again,
you, Sonia.
We are happy to have you here, and who knows how many more other projects we'll do together, won't we?
It'll be lots of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Wendy's going around me as well. Is there any interview in this organization that is normal? That's back to it.
That's the nature of the business.
Let's go back to it, yes. Yeah.